all of this conversation around Indiana Fever fans, it's all just misguided over hatred of Caitlin Clark and pointing the finger at those guys, they're the racists, when really y'all are the racists. The people coming up with excuses to hate Caitlin Clark and the new fan base that she brought and justifying, again, as we talked about yesterday, Nike won't even put out a Caitlin Clark commercial, won't put out a Caitlin Clark shoe because Nike has decided that they must bow to the angry black feminists, the Black Lives Matter movement, the feminist movement overall, the whole identity politics movement of, oh no, yes, Caitlin Clark is the biggest star in sports, but Nike, in order to promote equity and fairness and diversity and inclusion, you must spend all of your money promoting Asia Wilson, someone most people don't know exists and don't care about. You have to do that out of racial equity and racial justice. Don't lean into Caitlin Clark, who could make you a bunch of money when your stock is tanking and you've had to fire your CEO. Lean into Asia Wilson, a 6'5" person no one really knows or cares about. And it's not our fault. Tim Duncan, as was pointed out yesterday, great basketball player. No one cared. He didn't sell shoes. Allen Iverson did. Michael Jordan did. Kobe did. LeBron did. Tim Duncan was great. He didn't sell shoes. He wasn't an exciting player. No one cared. They sold shoes with the guys that sell shoes. Caitlin Clark could sell shoes, but no, her fan base is hated. It's the wrong type of fans. They tweet mean things to Alyssa Thomas. This stuff is a joke. And what I will give Christy Sides credit for, and I know many people will be calling for Christy Sides to be fired. I'm not going to be one of them at this point. I think she did walk into, and they inherited a very tough situation. The WNBA has been ignored for 27 years. Now it comes with not just an incremental increase of media attention and fan attention, but with a monumental increase of media attention and fan attention. And no one in the WNBA was prepared to handle this. They have bad leadership in Kathy Engelbert. They have bad leadership in Adam Silver, the commissioner of the NBA. These are weak, ineffectual leaders that don't know what they're doing. They've been installed. They don't have any real instincts. They're not qualified for their jobs. And so they've allowed the Caitlin Clark abuse to go on and on and on while everybody pretends, oh, it's Caitlin Clark's fans. They're on Twitter and they're horrible. They focused on that rather than the real persecution and inappropriate behavior of their very own WNBA players. Those have been the real bigots. They hate Caitlin Clark. And I occasionally try to defend Cheryl Swopes, but at this point, it's just crystal clear. I haven't spent much time trying to defend Angel Reese. I've spent a tiny bit, but I just can't. Angel Reese is a hater. And her whole media popularity, her whole platform is built off the back of Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is Kunta Clark. She's the actual slave that everybody else is exploiting for their benefit. Angel Reese included at the top of that list. Now Alyssa Thomas jumps in and says, let me get my piece. Dejanay Carrington jumps in, let me get my piece. I want to play you a clip last night. This is how Dejanay Carrington, as we've talked about earlier this week, in game 1, poked Caitlin Clark in the eye intentionally, in my view, and in most rational people's view. Your hands don't curl up, you jab people in the eye, and you pull your hand back immediately after you've accomplished your goal. Nothing happens to Dejanay Carrington. This isn't really even discussed. She gets questioned about it once. Caitlin Clark gets questioned about it. Caitlin Clark takes the high road. She's not engaging. Hats off to Caitlin Clark. But this is how lightly this is taken. First thing I want to show you is I want to unpack it in context. Marina Mayberry hits a dagger three that basically decides last night's game very late in the fourth quarter. And it comes as a byproduct of, Caitlin, I love you to death. But, girl, if you don't work on that defense, you ain't winning no championships. Not in the WNBA. Love you to death. Got to improve defensively. Let's play the clip of the dagger three from Marina Mayberry. And you can see, now Caitlin Clark's tired. She's played the entire game. But she falls asleep on the defensive end. And this has been a pattern. And Mayberry gets open for the dagger three that decides the game. Play the clip.
Bonner, Thomas, no one's on Mayberry! Money! Clark is not
Caitlin Clark throws up her hands.
Mayberry makes her
Replay the whole thing again, because now that I want to replay the whole thing. I want to the spot where Caitlin Clark is on Mayberry, falls asleep. Mayberry curls out to the three-point line. Caitlin Clark doesn't pick her up, and dagger three ends the game. Wide open three. That's bad defense on Caitlin Clark's part. We can talk about her being tired, and she was tired, but this has been a pattern. She falls asleep on the defensive end. Baby girl, you got to improve that, period. Now, they hit the dagger three. Now I want to move you to the celebration of the dagger three that Mayberry had with Dejanay Carrington. Play the clip. You see that? It's just a joke. Poke me in my eye, she tells Dejanay Carrington, poke me in my eye, and they just laugh it off. See, Caitlin Clark got poked in the eye and injured, black eye. You can still see the black eye last night. There was no foul called during game one when it happened. There was no investigation of whether this was a flagrant act and deserved any type of penalty. Totally ignored. Nothing. Your most important player, the person that's driving all of your engagement, everybody's making money off Caitlin Clark. She gets gouged in the eye by a player who clearly hates her. We've seen the previous behavior this season. We've seen her tweets. Clearly hates her. WNBA, there's no statement being made. Hey, we got to be more careful. We got these ladies with these long fingernails. We can't have this happen. We investigated this. We don't think it's intentional. We do think it's intentional. None of that happened. It's an actual joke that it did happen. Something that the players can joke and laugh about and mock later. But oh my God, let an Indiana Fever fan tweet anything to any player, and the WNBA is going to release a statement. And Alyssa Thomas and these other girls are going to hold press conferences. Have you seen these tweets? Oh, how hurtful they are. Sticks and fingernails may put out my eye, but words, that's what really kills me. This league is insane. And that's why I have mixed feelings. I'm going to miss Caitlin Clark. Hopefully I don't see her on the basketball court again until April, until next WNBA season. But I'm so glad I don't have to watch the rest of this. I've been so turned off by most of these players in the WNBA. It's incredible. No wonder they don't want us. Because if we look at what they are, we get repulsed.